Hey group, it has been such a joy, and we're on day 6, and I'm probably going to put this video on YouTube, so it might be whatever day it is for you, but I'm so proud of all of you, and I'm proud of any of you who are making any effort towards being healthier and getting in shape. There's a verse I want to read to you today. It is out of Ephesians 5:15 through 17. And the Amplified Bible says, "Look carefully then how you walk, live purposefully and worthily and accurately, not as unwise and witless, but as wise, sensible, intelligent people, making the very most of the time, buying up each opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore do not be vague and thoughtless and foolish, but understanding and firmly grasping what the will of the Lord is." This Bible verse reminds us to live on purpose, because sometimes it's so easy to get caught up in our to-do list that we forget, are we really living our purpose? Are we really living on purpose? Or are we just going with whatever just seems to be important at the moment? With our emotions, that could be anything, and it could be the group of people around, because if you're around a group of people that thinks church is most important, then that will be the most important thing at the moment. Or if you're around a group of people that looking good is the most important thing, then that'll be, or if you're around a group of people that success is the most important thing, then that's the most important thing. No, we're not supposed to live like that, just kind of wishy-washy all over the place, but like living with a purpose. And how this applies to an eating plan is so many people feel like an eating plan is being in prison. They feel like it is depriving them. You're telling me I can't have this and I can't have that and I can't eat too much of that and blah, blah, blah. And we feel deprived. We feel kind of like somebody's put us in handcuffs, and now they're telling us to be happy about it. And we're like, I'm not happy about it though. And actually, it's the exact opposite. I found that sticking to an eating plan, and I have never, can I just give you a little boost? I have never perfectly followed any eating plan. Have I done better and better over time? Yes. But I've never perfectly followed the eating plan, so just know that. But every time I go into an eating plan and I really make an effort towards it and I really do it, I see results. And I see the freedom in it. And at first you may say, I don't see the freedom in it. But the freedom in it is, okay, you walk by on the counter, there are some cookies. And so you just eat a cookie because, man, the cookie looks good, and it just, your feelings told you to do it, and you ate it. And 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that cookie, and I told myself I was going to eat better. And so now you spend the rest of the day beating yourself up. And since you feel so bad about yourself, when you walk by the cookies again, you decide to eat another one because you're already feeling so terrible about yourself. So now you got to make yourself feel better because you just got no joy, just full of regret. Is that freedom? No, that's not freedom. It's funny how the devil tricks us into thinking somehow that living thoughtlessly and witlessly, like that verse says, we think is making us happy, but it's not. That's eating like that's not making us happy. It's making us miserable, and that's the reason we keep eating so much. That's what I used to use food for all the time, stuffing down my feelings. When I was unhappy, I ate. Well, problem was I was depressed, so I was unhappy all the time, so I ate all the time. Anyways. But the eating plan actually puts the power in your hands, because when you have an eating plan, okay, you walk by the cookie. You go, man, that cookie looks good. I'm a little bit tired, and I'm a little bit hungry, and that cookie looks good. But then you stop, and you look at your eating plan, wherever it's at. Maybe it's on a piece of paper, maybe it's in your phone, and you look at it, and you go, you know what? Man, I've worked really hard this week. I worked really hard at the gym this morning, or I worked out really hard the last few days. I just really don't feel like this cookie's worth it. I see where it's not fitting into my eating plan. It's going to only make me feel guilty. I'm not going to eat it. And then maybe there is another day where you have worked really hard, you've lost some weight, and you've decided, hey, you know what? I'm looking at this eating plan and I'm thinking, you know what? I think I have a little room for a splurge. And so you eat the cookie. But guess what? There's no guilt. Because you ate the cookie on purpose. In other words, you didn't eat it just because it was there and maybe you just felt like doing it. Because how many times do you not feel like eating a cookie? I mean, how many times do you walk by a cookie and just think, man, that thing looks horrible. I just don't even want to touch it. No. Most of the time, your feelings and your body's going to say, eat it. Especially if you're tired about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, let me tell you. Or about 9 o'clock at night when you're tired and you're ready to go to bed. Of course you're going to want to eat it. But you stop and you think, just like this verse says, you stop, you think, you live on purpose and go, it's not worth it today. Or maybe tomorrow you'll be like, you know what? I've stuck to my eating plan really great. Oh, man, for 5 days in a row, longest I've ever gone. And, I've worked really hard and I've worked out really hard, and I decided that this is the day I'm going to eat one cookie. And you do it and there's no guilt. Do you see how now an eating plan no longer is this prison of feeling like you're always deprived and things are being taken away from you and your hands are tied behind your back, but instead now you have the power. So now when somebody offers you a piece of cake, you don't just eat it because somebody offered it to you. You eat it if you actually really want it. I hate it when I see people guilt other people into eating stuff. That's just a little side note. Don't guilt people into eating stuff. You know why we guilt people into eating stuff? Because we want to feel better about eating it. Just saying. But if you're living on purpose and you have an eating plan and you only eat the cake when you decide it's worth it, then you have no need to guilt other people into eating it with you. You could just eat it and be happy about it, whether anybody's eating it or not. See, an eating plan is about living on purpose. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want y'all to live on purpose, not just eat whatever happens to be in front of your face, but decide, hey, you know what I found out? When I eat a cookie every day at 3 o'clock, all I do is crave that cookie, and truthfully, an hour later, I don't feel that great, and I feel just as bad, if not worse, than before I ate the cookie. You know what? I think instead I'm going to have a healthy snack, and you know what? I've done that for 3 or 4 days straight, and I'm starting to feel better. See, you're living with purpose. You're seeing the freedom in having an eating plan. It's no longer about being, super skinny or super perfect, but it's about living the life that you want to live. Deciding what foods are worth it. What foods are going to fit into your goals. What foods are going to fit into the life that you want to live. You know, if you want to live a super strict life, then you go for it. You want to live a sort of strict life, then you go for it. But this way, the power is in your hands to decide. And see, the devil wants you to think that you don't have a choice, but you have a choice. And the eating plan gives you a choice. So I dare you today to get that eating plan out. I use the 21-day fix eating plan, and I love it. And am I perfect? No. Just a little side note, I've never eaten an eating plan perfect. Never, ever, ever, ever. So I've never been perfect. I've had days where I did, I guess, quote unquote perfect, yeah. But nobody's perfect. It's not about that. But get your eating plan out, and stick to it and try it and work on it. And then, like I said, then you're living on purpose and you're eating the cookie when you actually really want it and are not going to feel guilty about it and feel like you're reversing all your goals. You know what I mean? And then you're going to be able to, and then sometimes the cookie's going to be in front of you and you're going to look at that cookie and say, you know what? I have no desire for that cookie. It's not because my taste buds aren't telling me to eat it. It's not because my stomach's not telling me to eat it or my brain. It's because I've decided that's just not worth it for me right now. That I have bigger, better goals in mind for myself. So that is my big tip for you today about no longer letting your bad habits have the control over you, but you have the choice because Jesus died for you to have victory. He didn't die for you to be a prisoner to all those bad habits. He died for you to have victory. So today I want you to get your eating plan out and I want you to work on it and I want you to see it for the powerful thing that it is. And that the way that it's going to get you to the life that you want to live instead of just falling prey to whatever bad habit seems to want to jump on you or whatever emotion wants to jump on you, whatever cookie wants to jump on you, but now you have the power to make the decision. So that is my tip for you today. And if anybody ever needs help with their eating plan, feel free to contact me. I'm on Facebook, Karen Fountain, Caron, Fountain like a water fountain. Look me up, message me. That's what I'm here to do as a coach. So I want you to know that I love you guys and that you do have power to live the life that you want to live. You are not a prisoner to your bad habits because Jesus died to give you victory. Bye.